Check this out.
Geeking Out with Joel Japitana. Geeking Out and The Geek Speak Show are powered by Collider.com, GeekTyrant.com, GameTyrant.co, Mightyville.com, RamaScreen.com, and Zergnet.com. Here's Joel.
A petition with over 30,000 signatures to build a real-life Death Star was recently submitted to the White House, and shockingly, it was rejected for obvious reasons. They don't support blowing up planets. And the construction of a starship as big as the Death Star would cost about $850 quadrillion. That's 850 with 15 zeros after it. In tech news, Darth Zuckerberg of the Facebook empire has unveiled the social network's new graph search function. As if internet stalking wasn't easy enough, this tool basically follows you wherever you go in a search and links you to similar posts by friends and the public. Basically, graph search is to search what timeline is to the profile. If that doesn't make much sense, I say log in and try it out. We are a couple weeks away from the release of Dead Space 3. The anticipated video game hits stores February 5 and will be available for both the Xbox 360 and the PS3. And yes, it will finally have co-op. Alright, now let's talk movies. The Oscar nominations have been announced and our movies got a few nominations. The Avengers, The Hobbit, Prometheus, and Snow White and the Huntsman are nominated for Best Visual Effects. The other big superhero, however, The Dark Knight Rises, received 0 nominations. Alright, and Universal Pictures has confirmed that Jurassic Park 4 will be released on June 13, 2014 in 3D and IMAX 3D. No director is attached, yet Steven Spielberg is on board as executive producer. The first trailer of Universal Pictures' sci-fi epic Oblivion has been leaked and it looks pretty dope. It's Tom Cruise in the future and it takes place at the end of a war. And it's directed by the dude who directed Tron Legacy and The Rise of the Planet of the Apes. You damn dirty apes! It comes out April 19th. Now, who likes anime? Kamehameha! A new anime series called Ghost in the Shell, Arise, has been announced for some time this year. It will be directed by Kize Kazuchika, who's worked before on Neon Genesis and The Last Vampire. It's supposed to be connected to previous adaptations of Shiro Masamune's original manga series. Now let's talk TV. TV party tonight. TV party tonight. We're gonna have a TV party tonight. Alright, the last episode of Fringe is this Friday. Sad face. Happy face? Curious face? After 5 seasons, the show is coming to an end with a 2-hour series finale entitled Enemy of Fate. Will our questions on parallel universes, alternate realities, and the unexplained be answered? We'll have to tune into Fox on Friday night at 8. We survived the apocalypse, but not Glenn Mazzara. AMC's Walking Dead showrunner has left the show for the usual creative differences. But now a source claims that it was Robert Kirkman who wanted Glenn Mazzara out. The source claims that Kirkman is very territorial and that he didn't like the direction the show was going under Mazzara's watch. Although half the country did, according to Season 3 ratings. For fans of Arrow, the CW has begun the casting search for another DC TV show. Drumroll. Amazon. This show will follow Wonder Woman. CW President Mark Pedowitz has confirmed that they are busy casting Diana, and there is a strong, one might even say Amazonian strong possibility that Amazon and Arrow would coexist in the same universe. In the Marvel Universe, 616 that is, an all-new relaunch of X-Men debuts in April, and its name is totally a misnomer. That's because the team is all female. Storm, Rogue, Jubilee, and Kitty Pryde are among writer Brian Woods' revamped roster, and I believe the first 12 issues take place in a shopping mall. Veteran writer Brian Michael Bendis and Steve McNiven have released new details on artwork from their newest project, Guardians of the Galaxy #1. In case you didn't know who the Guardians are, they are the first line of defense for Earth, and if you didn't know about them, that's probably because they're doing their job well. Damn well. Did I mention their movie hits theaters in August of next year? P.S. I am Groot. And finally, Savage Wolverine #1 hits comic shelves this week. A lot of hitting this week. It's Wolverine in the Savage Land, and he's pissed. And if you're not in the Savage Land, check out Amazing at the Phoenix Convention Center, January 25 to 27. This is the first comic convention of the new year, and we'll host special guests Stan Lee and Jim Lee, who are not related to each other. And if you're not set for Amazing, February 22 to 24 are the dates for Wizard World Portland Comic Con at the Oregon Convention Center. Special guests there include wrestling's The Miz, TV's Norman Reedus from AMC's The Walking Dead, Bruce Campbell, and the Boondock Saints. So this concludes Geeking Out with Joel for this week. If you got any feedback, news tips, beef, or love notes, please email me at joel@thegeekspeakshow.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at Joel Japitana. That's JoelJapitana.
People who get it, get it.
They're listening. You're consuming. You're watching it with your ears. Oh, just listen.
The movers and shakers of geek culture are heard here.
I know you gonna dig this.
Hey, this is Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn, and one of the original founders of Image Comics.
I'm Ralph Bakshi.
This is Mark Zickery, writer, producer, director of Space Command.
I'm Zach Whedon.
Hi, I'm Chris Hardwick.
This is the Geek Speak Show. Here are your hosts, Henry San Miguel and Rachel Rossini.
Hi! You're not Rachel. You look better than Rachel. Hey, everybody, welcome to the second episode, exciting episode, we hope, of the Geek Speak Show for 2013. Nobody died except, like Joel just mentioned, Glenn Mazzara. He's not. Yep. He's no longer running the show on AMC's The Walking Dead.
Not Glenn, Korean Glenn, but Glenn Mazzara.
Well,
showrunner.
He could actually die too because, well, spoiler alert, but he did die in the comic book.
We're starting the show off with spoilers already.
Yes,
it's a Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Now
He's a spoiler.
Away.
Happy spoiler year to you all. So, you guys weren't here. You were here, but you did your features and got the hell out of here because you were still hungover, Joe.
Of course.
So now that you are here,
I'm still hungover now.
How many fingers do I have?
69. It was 2, actually.
We kind of did it in the award show, and I read it off. I had you guys email it to me. But now that you're here, microphones in front of you. What are you all looking forward to this year, 2013?
Everything.
Everything.
We're looking forward to it being 2015 already. Hurry the hell up.
We're looking forward to Jay's birthday.
Oh, shut up.
Well, apparently we are, but Jay's not.
I'm turning the big 3-0 tomorrow.
No, but
Yeah.
You're still a baby. No, but seriously, what are you guys looking for? Movies, comics, TV?
2013
anything?
is a big year. Huge. We have
365 days long, even.
I mean, Walking Dead comes back next month.
Yeah, I'm super psyched about that.
Our
obviously.
buddy, Chris Hardwick, his show, Talking Dead, goes to an hour now.
An hour of him talking dead.
That's all I want for my birthday.
Believe me, I know. He can do that. I mean,
yada. And then we also have what? I like to think about all the next Iron Man 3 and
That's right.
Thor, the
Dark World.
We got to go back a little bit because we weren't on in December. I know both of you saw The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. What did you all think of that?
I didn't see it.
Get off the show. Okay, what did you think, Joel? Get off the show. Oh, I thought you were saying I didn't see it either.
I was a little indifferent.
I mean, I'm not talking about your personal life. I mean, what did you think of The Hobbit?
The Hobbit?
Joel always is different.
I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I don't know. Like, the movie was... I kind of thought it was a little slow, but that's just me. And I don't want to give any negative feedback, so I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, just for Jay, we're not going to get into spoilers or anything. I mean, we'll all go see. Another reason to go see it, we'll all go see it again sometime this weekend. We got to see it, though, in what do you call it? IMAX 3D,
yeah.
because you both need to see. Did you see it in IMAX 3D or just regular?
Regular.
So you haven't seen
I don't have the dough.
You don't have the Star Trek
That kind
Into
of
Darkness
scratch.
9-minute preview either. So I was going to ask you guys about that, but since you haven't seen it, we'll probably now you all know what we're doing this weekend.
Star Trek. Hey,
we'll go see that. So that's what I'm. Now let's go back to here 2013. That's what I'm looking forward to this year. Not Iron Man 3, believe it or not. I know I'm the big Marvel guy, but not Iron Man 3 or Thor 2. I'm actually looking forward to Star Trek Into Darkness.
That does look amazing.
Yes, I know you're looking forward to. Yes, Cumberbatch.
I'm a Cumberbitch.
Who is he? Not the actor, but I mean that was the biggest thing.
The big speculation is that he's Khan, but I don't think he is. I think he's probably a new villain.
I don't think he's Khan either. I hope he's not Khan. I don't think they would do
they would redo the Empire Strikes Back of the Star Trek movies.
Yeah,
Khan
exactly.
Jr.
Khan is the best one of the original movies. Like, why paint over a masterpiece?
Why ask why? No, but I'm looking forward to that one. After that, I think you mentioned it in your Geek Out thing.
Did I?
I kind of like Oblivion. The teaser kind of caught me off guard and said, "Hey,
I know.
it's kind of good actually."
And I don't know. He's a guilty pleasure of mine, but me and Jay were talking about Tom Cruise
yeah, we're
on the car ride. We're just reminiscing about favorite Tom Cruise moments.
movies. Yeah.
Top Gun, or even way before that.
No.
Cocktail. Jerry Maguire.
I'm not into any of those. I like all of his recent stuff. I like Tropic Thunder and
Ghost Protocol.
Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages. He was amazing. Terrible movie.
Did his own
Wonderful
singing, by the way.
performance. Did his own singing.
He's a very intense
Did his own
guy.
abs. Did you see the abs? Oh my God. They were out of control.
I had to put my sunglasses on when the abs showed.
Exactly. You're just like, oh, too much sexy. I can't handle it. I can't.
2013. Yeah.
In comics, we already kicked off with a big event, ended with the end of Amazing Spider-Man, the beginning of Superior Spider-Man. We'll talk about that later on the show.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I'll talk about it in the show with a special guest of ours coming back again. Somebody you've heard before. He'll come back. We'll talk about that. I honestly can't say one way or the other whether I like it, don't like it, because it's only one issue. And you have to give it. Miles Morales, I gave it a chance. I like what they're doing with that story. But this is the real Peter Parker. He's really dead. He's really gone.
We'll see.
Or is he?
Again,
We'll see.
Spoilers at the top of the the
Yeah.
Well, Enjoy.
On this show, if
Happy
you haven't
New
read
Year.
it by now, then why are you listening? You should know. You should know by now. We're going to talk spoilers. Movies, like I said, I'm looking forward to Star Trek Into Darkness, Oblivion. I like the summer movies. Of course, I am looking forward to Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah.
Warm Bodies
Yes.
for Valentine's Day.
Is that Valentine's Day when that comes out?
Yeah, it is.
When else would it be released?
I don't know.
Nothing makes you think about Valentine's
It
Day.
shouldn't
than
be released.
Like the undead.
an almost still alive, sentient zombie. I've never had that kind of story. Actually, that's what makes it
It's a
interesting.
girl meets school love story.
Exactly.
For the post-Twilight generation.
I mean, I believe there was a movie like that, and it was called My Boyfriend's Bag.
I love that movie.
I believe we could
The
fly.
children have a future?
I believe
Teach 'em
I
well.
can fly.
No, but I'm looking forward to that. TV shows, the end of Fringe. As we record this, a couple days away, Jay and I will. Have you caught up, first of all?
No, I'm not caught up. I'm waiting for it to come out on DVD. I'm
Well,
bad.
we know what she's
I'm a
doing
bad
tonight.
fan.
Yep.
But that's happening. I'll
fan.
Tease a little bit. I talked to his people. J.H. Wyman may come back next week, and we will talk spoilers. As if you don't know that already, we already gave you like 20 spoilers in, 10 minutes. But we will come back, and we'll talk spoilers. We'll talk about why the ending, we don't know what it is, but even if I did, I wouldn't tell you anyway. But why that ending, was it just the ending that he wanted, or did Fogg just say, just end the damn thing already and get out of here? We'll have him tease a little bit what he's going to do next. He does have, I do know what this is, but I can't talk about it yet. And typical bad robot way. He is doing something with JJ again. And it is, well, see, now I'm getting into can't talk territory.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It is genre, I'll say that.
All right.
I'll leave it at that. But we'll have J.H. Wyman come on and talk the end of Fringe. And maybe a special guest, one of the cast members from Fringe. No promises, but it's a maybe. I'll give you a hint on that one. One of the seasons, one of the promos, he's the one that said, "Death!
No.
Strawberry flavored death!"
Well, as long as it's strawberry flavored, it's got the red syrup coming down.
definitely
Neil
for
Poulsen
that.
would be nice, too.
We kick it all the time. Any of you, Rachel's not here today, but any of you guys looking forward to Revolution coming back?
Cricket, cricket, cricket.
Like I said, Rachel's not here. She's the only one that gets excited about that show.
I hate bad-mouthing stuff, but man.
We didn't badmouth anything. We said nothing. We had nothing nice to say.
Yeah, we didn't say anything. We
We're
just
good.
Nothing
Say anything.
happens in that show.
Well, again, so I guess there's our answer. If whether we're looking forward to it or not. Falling Skies is coming back to TNT. Also,
I'm actually looking forward to
yes,
that.
yes.
It's another one I need to get caught up on.
Joel or Jay, one of you guys mentioned it a second ago. AMC's The Walking Dead is coming back again.
How could we not talk about it?
We
Now,
need us some Reedus.
one thing I'm not sure about. Glenn Mazaris, is he still part of this latter half that's coming?
Oh,
or is he
yes,
gone
because it's
now?
the mid-season finale. Well, you never know. You never know.
Because
most likely not.
I got to say honestly that I like the direction they were going in. You mentioned it in your report. I like the direction the show was going in after the not the Killing Joke. What is it called? The one where
The Killer
Lori
Inside.
died.
The last episode?
Yeah,
The
the Killer
Inside.
Inside. I got the Killing Joke in my head. But after that one, that was one of the best episodes. Everybody agrees with that.
Yeah.
It was. I thought it was going to be kind of hard to top themselves. They did. They actually got better as we went
Carl
along.
enters the boiler room a boy and comes out a man.
A man. That's a man.
What a man.
So, yeah, really looking forward to that one. Looking forward to. I watch a lot of the. And Jay, I don't know if you do or Joel. I watch a lot of those sci-fi shows like the Ghost Hunters and
Oh no,
and all those.
no! I stay away from those.
There's a new one that over our break I was just watching TV because I do that, and there was a promo for a new one that's coming, kind of like the Ghost Hunters show on Sci-Fi. It's called Ghost Mine, which is you go into a mine and you look for. Right, Jay's already rolling her eyes.
Yeah,
so.
you can't hear it, but they're
Never
rolling
mind.
big time.
So
Speaking of the Sci-Fi Channel, they have a new show called Lost Girl, which is about a succubus, and I'm all about that. And I was just like, they made the show for me. So, first
There you go,
season of
another
it
one.
is available.
Sci-fi.
most people think corny shows sci-fi, but they actually have a few good shows that
Are actual
actually do
dramas
like,
with plots and characters.
a good show that everybody seems to be liking. Arrow,
Oh, Arrow is really good.
and you mentioned Amazon is coming.
I know. And it's Diana.
See, now for that one, I gotta turn over here. What do you have to say about that one?
DC over
I have a wait and see. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. It really depends on
I
the
think
cast.
most people are too.
It depends on the cast and who they have writing it and who directs the pilot, basically.
Well, if it's the same team who does Arrow, I think they do a pretty good job with Amazon because Arrow is
Yeah.
pretty decent actually.
It is. I was so surprised because I was expecting it to be cheesy, and it has its cheesy moments, but they work together with the action. The action is so good.
And like the cast, like they didn't get any huge names, but they work well with each other.
John
and-
Barrowman's going to be coming on the show.
Ooh,
so.
really?
I love me some Captain Jack
Another
Harkness
tease
for
for you
those
guys.
of you that don't know.
The Avengers, the live action show is coming to
There
ABC.
is, yes.
Do you guys think that because of what the Avengers movie did and Spider-Man and the Sam Raimi ones and the new ones and everything that's coming because of
Right.
that, because finally we're accepted, the geeks, it's like, oh yeah, those guys.
The revolution is over, and we won.
And it is going to be televised. Jeff Loeb came on. He's head of Marvel TV. He said, "Yeah, they do have a lot of live action Marvel
Right.
shows coming. Besides just where is it?
The Avengers?
Ultimate Spider-Man cartoons and all those. They do have live action ones.
Right.
You guys think that there's going to be an oversaturation because we get them on TV, then we're going to have them in the movies, then you have them in the comic books. Obviously, now it's on
Right.
your smartphones and your tablets and everything.
It's not enough if you ask me.
Too much is never enough for Joel.
Well, for us, of course, but I mean, I'm talking about just the regular people,
The common people.
the straights
The
out there.
commoners.
I don't think there are any regular people left. I think that after Avengers, we are living in a brave
That's
new
what
world.
happened on December 21st. We took over. It wasn't
Exactly.
The Walking Dead coming up.
It was a
us. We took
change of
over.
lifestyle and mindset.
The walking nerds.
See, the Mayans knew back then. And when was it? December 21st?
That's
the
when.
geeks will take over. Let's stop making a calendar. Don't make their own calendar. They're smart enough. So that's what's happening. So here we are. We're back. Okay, let's kick off the show. Let's have, I don't know. Louise is coming back. She's going to talk to us about, I don't know, some movie. I think
Some movie.
we were talking about Buckaroo Banzai because I watched it again over the Christmas break.
Good one.
She watched it also, and she said, "You know what? Maybe I'll start with that one." So let's find out if she's going to start with that one because here she is now with the Geek Movie Rewind.
Geek Movie Rewind.
Movie Rewind.
The movies that made you a geek.
Except for the part where you didn't see them.
Here's the Geek Speak Show's resident movie geek, Louise DuCray.
Hi guys, welcome to the first movie rewind of the new year. I'm starting 2013 off right with a classic movie that a lot of people haven't seen but feel they should, a little film called The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. Hereafter referred to as Buckaroo Banzai for the sake of brevity, this film has earned its certified cult status in that it has a relatively small but fiercely devoted fan base that grew upon its home video release. The world in general is largely unaware of it, and it is the kind of offbeat, quirky thing that film buffs the world over tend to watch ironically while drinking. It is nonetheless an important addition to the geeky film lexicon, and also it features Jeff Goldblum dressed as a flashy cowboy. So, there's that. Buckaroo Banzai was released in the summer of 1984, and was up against such pillars as The Search for Spock, The Temple of Doom, and Ghostbusters. 1984 was a huge summer for movies, guys, in case you hadn't heard. So you won't be surprised to learn that Buckaroo Banzai didn't do record numbers at the box office. But it didn't do terribly either, and like many cult films, as I mentioned, it found its legacy in home video, and in devoted fans like my boyfriend Rich, who is one of those rare creatures who saw the film on opening day. He possesses one of the free headbands they gave out at Star Trek conventions to promote the film. He's read the movie novelization, and is a longtime member of the official Buckaroo fan group, the Blue Blaze Irregulars. Rich was patient enough to sit with me through a rewatch of the film and answer my copious questions such as, but wait, why did the aliens do that with the thing? Because listen, I've got to say, the first time I watched this thing some years back, it made little or no sense to me. But I wanted it to make sense, and I want to help it make sense for you. It's important to note, for example, that The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension is a loose adaptation of the Doc Savage pulp adventure stories from the 30s and 40s. Watch it by yourself, you wouldn't know that. The main character of the film is the eponymous Buckaroo Banzai. Buckaroo is a neurosurgeon, physicist, rock star, race car driver, and adventurer, as one does. He stars in his own comic book and has fans who come hang out in front of his institute hoping to catch a glimpse of him. This is within the world of the film, mind you. All of his friends are brilliant scientists who are also his rock and roll band. Buckaroo has been working on breaking the boundaries between dimensions, and at the beginning of the film, drives a jet car straight through a mountain using a device called an oscillation overthruster. Once word of Buckaroo's successful test gets around, a physicist called Dr. Emilio Lizardo breaks out of the nut house to come after him. See, it turns out that Dr. Lizardo took part in a failed experiment 50 years ago, in 1938, which resulted in his mind being taken over by an evil alien overlord from Planet 10, who was banished to the 8th dimension. Lizardo and his band of fellow exiles have been posing undercover, badly, as employees of a defense company called Yoyodyne Propulsion Systems, building a spaceship so that they can return to Planet 10 and take it over. But they need Banzai's oscillation overthruster to do it. With the help of his rock and roll scientist team, the Hong Kong Cavaliers, a band of civilian volunteers, a strange face from his past, and an assortment of helpful aliens from Planet 10 who share a common interest in exiled criminals not making it back to their world, Buckaroo Banzai must do all he can to defeat Dr. Lizardo and save the day. That's really all you need to go on. One great thing about this film is that Buckaroo's band of civilian helpers, the Blue Blaze Irregulars, is, of course, a direct homage to Sherlock Holmes's Baker Street Irregulars. Other charming and amusing things include the fairly epic end credits sequence, which you just sort of have to see for yourself. You've likely seen it parodied elsewhere already, actually. And the use of something called cellular radios in a decade before cell phones existed in real life. They work exactly like cell phones. Prophetic. Oh hey, and Christopher Lloyd and Vincent Schiavelli are in it, and a very young Ellen Barkin. Our hero is played by Peter Weller, and his Hong Kong Cavaliers include Jeff Goldblum being the same perfect way Jeff Goldblum always is, but dressed as a cowboy this time, that I mentioned, and Clancy Brown in one of his first film roles. If you don't know Clancy, you actually probably do. He was in The Shawshank Redemption, starred in the short-lived and fantastic HBO series Carnival, and he's the voice of Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob. Finally, let it not go without notice that the maniacal and incidentally Italian Dr. Lizardo is played by an incredibly freaky-looking John Lithgow, in a role written specifically with him in mind. He just goes all out, climb the walls, chew the scenery villainous. It's awesome. Now, this may sound odd, but the thing that makes this movie work is that the actors all commit themselves fully to their roles. It's not tongue-in-cheek at all, which is why I think its common description as satire or parody is way off base. I mean, I'm not going to lie, Buckaroo Banzai is weird, but not self-aware weird, not Wes Anderson or Wonderland weird. It's the kind of weird that believes entirely in itself and expects you to keep up. There's some wacky stuff in this film, alright, some things that just never get explained, and that's okay. It's still a more cohesive plot than Prometheus. For the Geek Speak Show Movie Rewind, I'm Louise DuCray. Send your comments, questions, and, favorite cult films to louise@thegeekspeakshow.com. And remember, no matter where you go, there you are.
That's the Geek Movie Rewind. Agree? Disagree?
Send your comments or suggestions to Louise at thegeekspeakshow.com.
Follow the Geek Speak Show on Twitter at GeekSpeakShow1.
That's the number 1.
Become a fan on Facebook. Subscribe on iTunes. Listen to archived shows. And watch event coverage on our YouTube channel. YouTube.com/GeekSpeak videos. Yep, we're everywhere. And you're there listening to the Geek Speak Show.
I think maybe after that you fell asleep, that long-ass announcement. So welcome back to the Geek Speak Show. Let's talk comics. Jay will commentate on comics in just a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. Now, the guy who actually started the comic commentary thousands and millions of years ago when dinosaurs walked the earth is back with me. David Lee, Happy New Year. Welcome to the Geek Speak Show again.
Happy New Year, and thanks for having me back. It's a joy to be back. And yep, I was there when them dinosaurs walked the earth, and it was kind of like the Savage Land. I wish I had Shauna the She-Devil with me. Oh my God, that would have been awesome.
Yes, he's back. It is the same old David Lee. Now, we do have something huge to talk about, and that is, it ended in December last month. Amazing Spider-Man, longest run in comics, number 700, the end of Spider-Man. By the way, to let everybody know, we're going to talk spoilers, so if you haven't read it, turn away now. Peter Parker died. The real Peter Parker, not in Ultimate, not the real Peter Parker. He's dead, I think.
Yeah, or so we're led to believe, and a plot twist that surprises nobody. He's dead. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, like I said, sort of, because Superior came out. That launched actually the Superior Spider-Man title, and I told you guys we're going to talk spoilers. Here goes the big first one. Doc Ock is Peter Parker / Spider-Man.
Yep, and I'm kind of wondering exactly how long this is going to last. I mean, if you read the first issue of Superior Spider-Man, it's bloody obvious it's not Peter. I mean, he's acting different to everybody else, and I'm going, is this going to be the Clark Kent, whole Clark Kent effect here, where, oh, hey, nobody can see who he really is? So
now here's the thing about how I see it. Number one, good run on ASM. We had a few, clunkers. Brand new date. Anybody?
Oh God,
Clone Saga, and you guys know what it is. We won't get into it. But the way I see this is, I thought it was a good end to the Amazing Spider-Man, the last one, written by Dan Slott and drawn by Humberto Ramos. Pretty good. There were a few moments that were touching, especially like any art, song, movie, whatever it is, book, novel, comic book, even. It depends on where you are in life, the way you see things. I'm not going to get personal, but because of the things I'm going through, it really touched me because it deals with death and dying and going back and remembering all the people that were really influential in your life. It really touched me because of things that I'm going through in my life. So that's why I probably thought it was a great ending to Amazing Spider-Man. But at the same time, then I put on my comic book geek hat and I said, all right, so that's the end of Peter Parker. For now, because we all know in comic, it's almost become a joke. In comic books, nobody stays dead, not for long, at least.
Oh God, no! I mean, Stacy, if I recall correctly. Granted, she was a clone and all that. But still, let me see. They brought Superman. Superman's come back. Let's see, Green Lantern. Hal Jordan came back. Everybody in the kitchen sink, except for Uncle Ben, has come back. I mean, that's like the one line they won't cross. Now, when I read the whole arc with Amazing Spider-Man, my first impression was just, yo, you ever here, listen for it? A giant face palm. But then I took off the blinders. I took off the whole, oh dear God, I'm the biggest fanboy glasses, and I put on, the normal geek hat. I read it again. I'm going, okay, while this is the equivalent of my brand new day, I really hate it, but I'm going to give it a chance. I want to see where it's going. Because at first I was like, really? Seriously, Marvel? This is the best you could come up with? Otto Octavius is now Spider-Man? Seriously? Are you guys high? But then I thought, this is an ongoing storyline. Give it a chance. I gave Frank and Cancel a chance, for God's sake.
And see, again, it's almost cliche, but being the biggest, arguably the biggest hero in comics, you kind of expect something special out of it. But again, spoilers. If you haven't gotten Superior Spider-Man #1, I'm about to spoil the ending. Peter Parker apparently is still around in the fight, as he puts it at the end.
Yep, he's come back as a ghost.
He's Obi-Wan Kenobi basically now, or like we think so. Maybe that's what he's going to be doing because he does stop. He's going to act. Actually, he's going to act more. Hey, that just hit me right now. It makes sense. He's going to act more as Doc Ock's Jiminy Cricket, his conscience basically.
Oh dear God! Did you really have to go there?
No, it just hit me right. And that's why I said, "Hey," because it just hit me. Hey, wait, Disney owns them. That's why it's happening. See, okay, conversation's over. Now we know why they did it.
Yep, it's over. Done, signed, sealed, and delivered. Damn you, Mickey!
No, but seriously, I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't shocked by the fact that Peter Parker is somehow going to still be in Superior Spider-Man, but I was shocked at the fact that they did it so soon in number 1. I would have at least, they would have waited at least summer or something. But for sure, he would have been back in the comic book by the time Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out in theaters.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why they Jiminy Cricket Peter Parker is for the... Oh, and by the way, that is now official catchphrase. Y'all may pay me a quarter. Thank you, Henry. You will get 10 cents of that quarter every time someone says it.
Well, actually, I'm looking in the mirror. I'm the one that came up with it first, so I get the quarter. You get the 3 cents.
Yeah, but
Times are tough here.
You may have created it, but I stole it. Anyway, so I think why they Jiminy Cricketed Peter is for the simple fact that they were catching such a huge backlash from the readers, so they're like, oh crap, we're now caught with our pants down. People don't like this. Let's go ahead and give them something to keep them reading.
Yeah, and again, that's the one thing that shocks me is that they're doing it so quick. I mean, we knew somewhere deep inside, we knew that Peter Parker had to come back somehow, some way.
Yep.
I just didn't expect it so soon. Now I think though, the way I see, of course, we're only into number 1, haven't gotten the rest of them yet. But I think it's an interesting take, to see how, especially a villain that knows Spider-Man so well throughout, Spider-Man's history. Now he gets to step into Peter Parker / Spider-Man shoes, and we get to see along with Doc Ock how he sees Spider-Man's life. He gets to realize a few things that, hey, I never knew this about Peter Parker or Spider-Man.
Yeah, I do think that's going to kind of be interesting, because all throughout Spider-Man's comic history, we've seen a dichotomy between Doc Ock and Spidey. We've seen good scientist versus bad scientist, Jekyll versus Hyde, as it were. One wrong turn in Peter Parker's life, and he could have been Doc Ock, for God's sake. Incredibly smart. One decided to jump off the cliff into mind-numbingly crazy. The other one decided to do the right thing. Granted, the power has something to do with it, but we're not going to go there. I do like seeing it, especially in Superior Spidey, how Otto actually used his criminal genius to just stomp Sinister Six. I mean, that was a part of the comic where I'm just going, that was awesome. He's like Epsilon 5 or Gamma 2, like the chest, and all of these science plans are going, why didn't Peter do that?
Yes, so we're probably going to get a lot more moments like that. That is David Lee. That's our a quick take. We're not going to get into spoilers or anything because we only have one issue. We can't really talk too much about it yet. We'll see what happens.
Exactly.
Superior is out in stores. I know it is. Even though everybody's complaining, I don't like it. It's still selling out like everything else. They'll probably be reprinted for next week's or today's New Comics Wednesday. So check your local stores and see if they have it. If you haven't read it yet, it's also available digitally, of course. But David Lee will hear from you throughout the year when big events or just come out and geek out about comics like you always do. So thanks for coming on, and we will talk to you later.
Hey, thanks for having me. You all heard him. I'll be around. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
The Geek Speak Show will be back in a moment. Comics Commentary with Jae Gibbs on The Geek Speak Show.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I made a minor boo-boo last week. I mentioned that DC had fired Gail Simone, writer of Batgirl, previous writer of Birds of Prey, some of my favorite books, and that she would be concluding, I believe, next week with number 17 of Batgirl in the Death of the Family story arc. My bad. Turns out, 2 weeks after that original announcement was made, back in the beginning of December, they rehired her due to fan outcry. So, congratulations, fans! You win! You win at the internets! You got somebody their job back, and we're going to hopefully be continuing on with new brilliant storylines that will be expanding our horizons as far as literary and cultural and feminist viewpoints in comics and mainstream big-name comics. So, that's kind of a big deal, and I'm happy about it, and it means that I have to put a little bit more money forward towards comics every month, but you know what? That's my job. That's what I do. That's what I live for. In other comics news, in Marvel, we had David Lee talk a little bit about his take on Superior Spider-Man with Henry. And I just read some all-new X-Men #1. #2 is out on stands now. #3 is going to be coming soon to a brick-and-mortar store near you. And you know what? I'm not normally a Marvel fangirl, but it's good. Oh, all new X-Men is good. The writing is good by Brian Michael Bendis, as always, and the artwork by Stuart Immonen. Am I saying that right? Immonen? Stuart Immonen and Wade Von... Oh no, Grabadger. Grawbadger. Grabadger. Wade Von Grabadger. That gets more fun to say every time I say it. Anyway, really good book. I definitely recommend it. I'm looking forward to picking up the rest of the series, which is surprising because I haven't picked up a regular X-Men book since, I think, X-Force originally came out. I'm not sure. Since the early 90s. In independent comics, Dynamite Special #1, The Shadow, is on stands right now. It's been out for about a week or two, cover by Alex Ross, so very distinctive style, stands out. Just says The Shadow. You all might remember the Alec Baldwin movie from the 90s. I hear I remember that movie very fondly, and I hear that the movie doesn't exactly do the legendary comic/radio program justice, but this kind of does. It really brings it up to date in that cool retro nostalgia factor. The artwork is decent, and it's a pretty good story, and it's a special double issue, so it's a good way to blow $5 at your local comic store. That's pretty much it this week. Oh, DC. I forgot to tell you a little bit about that. In Earth 2, the cover reveals the fury of Steppenwolf, and it's a big scary deal, and there's been a lot of controversy and a lot of fandom nod about who the female character on the cover is, since obviously the big scary guy is Steppenwolf, and it's been revealed that her character name is Fury, and that in Earth 2 she's the daughter of Wonder Woman, which leads to speculation that she's actually Hippolyta II, which means she's the daughter of Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor, which is a nice bone to throw to the fans of the original Steve Trevor and Deanna relationship, for those of you that are not fans of Wonder Woman and Superman being together romantically. That's kind of a mouthful for just the cover of a single issue, but I read the inside of it, obviously, and it's a good single shot if you're into Monster of the Week type stories. Very action-packed, pretty well drawn. Feels a little bit rushed at the same time, and definitely seems like the beginning of a new storyline. Almost seems like the beginning of a new comic, as opposed to a continuation of the Earth 2 storyline. We don't get to touch at all upon the characters that, if you read the previous issues of Earth 2, we're only on issue number 8 right now. If you read the previous ones, then you will probably be disappointed, like I was, because there's no Jay Garrick, there's no Hawk Girl, there's no anybody. It's just these new characters, and they're, villainous, I guess. So that's what's going on in comics. That's this week in commentary. My name is Jay, and I will see you next Wednesday, because Wednesday is New Comic Book Day.
It's time for the Geek Speak Show Book Club. Our books
Or graphic novels.
tell us what your favorites are.
Books at thegeekspeakshow.com.
First one for 2013. We didn't do one last week. Joel,
What's a book?
is your resolution to read?
Whoa, what's reading?
No wonder you have so many accents in your car. Okay, so who wants to go first? Let's let ladies go first.
There's a lady here?
Oh, Joe.
Was it
do?
the ongoing joke? Okay, my choice
You're the ongoing joke.
for the book club this week is Spider-Man The Other, which is a Spider-Man story written in October of 2005 and lasts until January of 2006. This was a 12-part story, and it was written by Peter David, Reginald Hudlin, and J. Michael Straczynski. It had art by Mike Deodato Jr., Pat Lee, and Mike Wieringo. Basically, it's a pretty cool story of birth, death, and rebirth with a focus on evolution. And it was pretty much Peter Parker was going through some health problems, and at the end of it, it turns out he was evolving. His webs came from his palms, not web shooters, and he could shoot these stings, and he had these like knives kind of looking things coming out of his arms, kind of Wolverine-ish, but it was really cool, and I got the impression that Spider-Man, at least Peter Parker, not Dr. Octavius, had reached his maximum potential, but sadly it came to an end when Marvel rebooted Spidey again with Brand New Day. And I just wanted to bring this one up just because, in comparison to Superior, I believe this one, Peter Parker was more superior in the storyline, and it was a pretty cool story, really badass, but it had deeper themes that metaphorically followed the different stages of grief. So I want to bring it up also because I think if you're going through a hard time in life, you'll really like the story, and if you're just straight chilling, you'll like it because it's a good story. Shoot.
So I think bottom line is it's a good story.
Yes.
Jay, what you got?
I miss Peter Parker already.
I have Tank Girl Bad Wind Rising by Alan Martin and Rufus Dayglow. It is a love story between the eponymous Tank Girl and her longtime marsupial love, Booga, which is not Booger, as a lot of fans of the franchise think it is.
She's not being
from the
cool.
movie.
That's actually the name.
Yeah, Booga, Booga. And I love them together. I've read other. There's an actual novel by the same author, the creator Alan Martin, of Tank Girl, and it focuses kind of on their on again off again romance. But this is a graphic novel. It's black and white and a little bit of color, and there's lots of kind of hazy blue greens, and it's tripendicular, and I love it. And it's surreal and it's funny. Oh, and it's adult. There are some naughty words and some naughty scenes that I'm not allowed to repeat here. But that's the kind of stuff I'm into. It's sick and twisted and very detail oriented, and it's sexy by being disgusting, or disgusting by being too sexy. I'm not sure which.
I also want to say my book is the same thing too.
yeah, that.
Actually, Joel is the same thing.
In real life, no, we have to keep Joel in a clear plastic cage and just kind of put food pellets in there with him.
With a sign that says, "Do not open until Xmas."
Yes, it's life imitating art.
But I love Tank Girl. I need to put pictures back up on my website of me cosplaying as Tank Girl at Halloween several years ago. So, yeah, definitely check out Bad Wind Rising, which is a clever play on words if you're like 3 years old.
Clever.
Too clever by half.
Indubitably.
So mine is this week. So it was actually something I read a bit last month in December, but since we weren't on, then I couldn't actually do a book club thing. But now that we are, I can. I went back in time a little bit. Went to one of the classics. Yeah, I know I always read the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit books, but I did that already. Picked them, I think, sometime last year. This time I went so back in time, I actually wrinkled it. How do you do that? Well, all you had to do is read A Wrinkle in Time. It was actually celebrating 50 years last year, 50-year anniversary. Saw it in the library. Hadn't read it in a while, and I said, you know what? I'm going to pick it up, read it. I did. I had forgotten what a cool story it is. I was like not 8th grade, but I was 8, I think, when I first read it. And surprisingly, I understood The Hobbit when I read that one, and understood Lord of the Rings. This one I just didn't get. But now, it's a little bit of fringe, a little bit of all the stuff that we like now. But by fringe, by the way. So it's A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, as Jay was telling me. It's how did you say it's pronounced, Jay? L'Engle.
L'Engle?
Yeah, like that. She can do it better than me.
L'Engle?
Yeah, we'll go with that. So, but it's A Wrinkle in Time. A lot of you have read it. A lot of you were forced to read it. Even Joel in school.
No,
so that's what he said. But yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool. It does have time travel dimensions. We think it has I think, aliens. We don't know really what they are. It's part one of a series of books. You guys can get the rest of them. Swiftly Tilted Planet is the one, and the rest of the ones that come after that. But this is the one that started it all. It's A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. My pick for the book club. I get emails from you guys all the time. Henry at thegeekspeakshow.com saying, you don't feature this, you don't feature that. Ready Player One. Did talk to Ernie Klein. He will come on soon. He's a little busy because it's being turned into a movie. But he will come on and talk about Ready Player One. The rest of them, don't send them there. Send them here. Books at thegeekspeakshow.com. Books at thegeekspeakshow.com. Remember,
books.
They got to be horror, sci-fi, fantasy, or a mixture of those. Graphic novels are okay. Comic books, like somebody around here does.
What are you talking about?
I guess are going to have to be okay now.
What you talking about, Henry?
Otherwise, we're going to have to put Joel in the short yellow spaceship out of here. So that's it. We will be back. Actually, no, let's not take a break. Let's just say goodbye.
That's the Geek Speak Show Book Club. Tell us what your favorite books or graphic novels are. Books at thegeekspeakshow.com.
So now let's really say goodbye. That's a show for this week. Next week, we're going to deal with a conspiracy. The third shift conspiracy. What's it all about? Come on back next week and you'll find out.
We're all rolling our eyes.
The Geek Speak Show will be back next week with a brand new episode. In the meantime, follow them on Twitter at Geek Speak Show 1.
That's the number 1.
Become a fan on Facebook. Subscribe on iTunes. Watch special event coverage and the Geek Speak video show on YouTube/Geek Speak Videos. And listen to past shows in the archive section on thegeekspeakshow.com. A big thank you to the Geek Speak Show's content providers, GeekTyrant.com, Collider.com, RamaScreen.com, and MightyVille.com.